What is good? We're back, and here is again the disappointing result of the Super Bowl. Low scoring game, and obviously having a lead and losing in the fourth quarter. Didn't play well. Here's the Pro Bowl. I don't know why I did that because there's nothing applicable with the overalls or the rankings or anything. What I usually do is I like to play a series just for fun to see who we have. I don't ever play through the whole Pro Bowl game. We got Ronnie Brown in the backfield, and we had a good amount of our linemen in there. So I thought that was cool. We had a lot of Pro Bowlers. I think we had like 10 or something like that. And then here was a run, Ronnie Brown making Julian Peterson miss and then getting upfield. It looks like that was Sean Springs on the tackle. And there's a good amount of skins in this game, too, as you can see. They got Cooley and two linemen. We got Shelters right there, who doesn't even want to be here anymore. Sorry, I had to call him out. And we have Chris Gamble right there. And then we had Jason Taylor and Agunleye. Yeah, so we had some guys in the Pro Bowl for real. And so we came in with $43.65 million in net income. Great year profit-wise. Retired players, Brett Favre, he's calling a career. Gus Frerott's calling it a career, so we're going to need a new backup quarterback likely. Hopefully Brett Favre doesn't come back 3 or 4 times like he did in real life. Marshall Faulk calling it a career. Keyshawn Johnson, Joey Galloway, Wayne Corbett. Galloway still got 94 speed. He can still play. I'm surprised he's calling it a career. He ended up going until he was like in his late 30s in real life too. Let's see if we see anybody else notable that I know. A lot of these guys, this was, right before I even started watching football when this game came out, to tell you all the truth. Willie McGinnis, Quarles, Aaron Glenn, that's the new Jets coach. So we'll go back and show him before he aged. Look, not a single white hair then. Now he's got white hair. The stress of coaching getting to him. John Lynch calling it a career, man. I think he ended up playing one more season in real life. And Matt Turk, I said Mac. Matt Turk calling it a career. Poole, he was hurt the first year he got here, and then he didn't really play much for us. So no shade to bro. I'm going to let him walk because he didn't really do anything for us. And that's not necessarily his fault. He was hurt. He was already on IR when we started this franchise. Zach Thomas holding out. We're going to give him a contract for sure. Zach Thomas is going to retire a Dolphin. He's not going to go play one season for the Cowboys. We're not going to do that to him. Sam Madison, the last year of his contract, we're going to give him an extension. I think he should finish out as a Dolphin. I know he went and finished with the Giants and won a ring, but I want him to win one in Miami. We're going to win one here, so he doesn't need to go to the Giants to get a ring. Lance Shelters, look at this man's morale. He's a team captain. And we respect you, bro, but if you don't want to be here, look at the comments. Man, I'm sick of the Dolphins. If you don't want to be here, then we're going to trade you. And so we get a second-round pick out of him. The Raiders are trading a lot of their picks for players, and they didn't have a great year last year. So, hey, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. So we get a second-round pick for Lance Shelters, Pro Bowl player. So we'll take it. And we're going to give Zach Thomas a bigger contract, 5 years. He's not going to play it all the way out. He's 34. And it's heavy on the back end. He's made enough money in his career, so I did that on purpose, sort of, so that way I can make sure we have some money freed up. So, yeah. And Lance Briggs, we're going to pay him. We're going to keep him around. I think the future is going to be him and Channing Crowder, and then we'll see about the left outside linebacker. Tillman, we're going to let him walk, even though I think that he could still play here. We'll let him walk, and then we'll see about re-signing him. Zagonia, I thought he was going to retire, to be honest. He's like 36. So we're going to give him 1 year until he wants to sail off into the sunset. Russell will keep around as a kickoff returner. I think with his speed, he could be a slot guy for us, to be honest. So I'm not going to over-invest in receivers. I think we're fine in that department, to be honest. I think our problem offensively is just not turning the ball over. And then once we get Rivers to develop into the quarterback he can be, then we'll be great. Jenkins, what up, family? Even though we are not related at all, just got to say it because we got the same last name. Jenkins could stay because of his last name. And it's not nepotism because we're not family. The what up family is just a joke. So, yeah, but he does what he needs to do. He put some hit sticks on special teams, and, hey, he can go in and play. He played well when Lance Briggs went down, remember? So the thing about this game, they do the draft before you even do free agency. I don't like it personally. That's why I don't buy a lot of these older games to make more franchises, because you have to scout the players and you draft before you do free agency. Yeah, before you do free agency, you draft. So we're not signing any free agents until after the draft. So basically, I made a list of our team needs, looked at our roster, and I'm scouting guys based off of our team needs. And there's some guys I'm interested in for sure. And I'm just scouting them. You can't do drills and stuff like that. You just keep scouting them, and then you can read about their interview and like what they did in the combine. So I like this tight end Mackey. It's not John Mackey. If it was John Mackey, that would be crazy. I like this tight end. I like this free safety. You see the guys are scouted. I like that free safety. I like the tight end. I want to get a left outside linebacker because Spragan is a free agent. And we'll see if we get a viable one enough to let Spragan walk completely. Because he had 3 sacks in the Super Bowl, so he's going to go get paid by somebody. If it's not us, it'll be somebody else. So Bell, I'm reading his scouting report, and I like everything. He's about 4'3" speed, 6'3", 220, sort of like a Sean Taylor prototype. We're seeing some of these safeties in these games, these CPU-generated safeties. They're trying to make some Sean Taylor prototypes. This tight end runs 4.61, and he's a big guy. He's like 6'7", 280 or something like that. This guy right here, well, a couple guys. The run-stopping linebacker, I think this could be our guy. I don't know if we'll be able to get him, though, because we did get rid of some picks to get I can't remember if we traded for Lance Briggs before or after the draft last offseason, but we gave up picks for somebody last offseason. I do not remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I do not make notes and keep them. I should do that in the future. I'll make offseason notes of the prior offseason so that way I can go off of that when I'm commentating. So that way I'm not uncertain making these videos. But usually I'm good at remembering a lot of things, but sometimes a little hazy because, I mean, it's been like a year. I think we've been doing this series for 2 years now. So we're averaging a season a year. So anyway, back to scouting. Yeah, I'm really high. I want to get the free safety, the tight end, and the outside linebacker ideally. So we got to trade some guys to try to get some picks. So we do a dump to the Vikings. McKinney, Moore, our backup left outside linebacker, and a pick for a Vikings pick. We do trade our Pro Bowl right guard that we signed in free agency for the first overall pick in the second round. And so we're here in the draft, right? And we're going through. And so the first pick was a DB, then 2 quarterbacks, 2 offensive linemen, a running back. I mean, I can't see the team in this, which sucks. But all in all, I was concerned we weren't going to be able to get Bell. That's why I got the second round pick. I tried to get into the late first because I was scared we weren't going to get him. But it all worked itself out. I was doing a bunch of trade scenarios, just trying to find a trade that would work. And hey, God bless us. He fell to us. Bell falls to us. And then 3 picks later, Mackey's still there. So we got 2 guys that I want. And free safety was a big team need. And also Dante Hackett. Remember, we drafted Goolsby and Hackett. He is going to be one of our free safeties too, Hackett. And then we draft that guy, Ulrich. I liked what I saw with him. I didn't scout him. He wasn't on our board. But he's sitting there, and he's a left outside linebacker. And all of his numbers, they weren't far off from the guys we scouted. So I figured, why not sign him? This guy's getting a 6-year contract, 79 overall. We'll look at the attributes later. Mackey's getting 5 years. Joel Mackey, like I said, 6'7", 280. We put him there with McMichael. That could be good because we're letting Donald Lee walk. So Bell, I was hoping he got better speed, but I like everything I'm seeing right now from him. His tackling 67, so we'll run him through one of the drills. Ulrich, he ended up 72 overall, 88 speed though, 69 strength, 88 agility, 82 acceleration, 70 tackle. I think we can develop this guy. Usually the left side in this game tends to be better than the right side just naturally. I don't know what it is, but that's just the way it's always worked for me. It's easier to have left guys like the left end and the left outside linebacker be more successful than the right side. That's why I try to get higher overalls on the right side because, yeah. And then we drafted this punter. He was the second to last pick, so he was almost Mr. Irrelevant. And, we need a punter because of Matt Turk walking, so this actually worked out perfectly. Lock him up. Hopefully we don't have to use him that much, ideally. So, yeah, and then we got a lineman, as you can see there. So we did end up moving a couple guys. We had a 6'6" guard. Whitley was with us. Remember, he started the first season, and then Gray, whatever his last name is, that we traded for that pick. I think we sent him to Atlanta or something. I can't remember what team. It was literally in this video, and I can't remember. That's a shame. I'm disappointed in myself. But we traded him, right? He was a Pro Bowler, but Whitley was with us. So I want a guy that's familiar with the system to come play for us. This guy was with us too, season one. Nobody picked him up last year in season two, so we'll bring him back as our backup left outside linebacker. Ulrich is going to start, and we're going to roll with him. I think with Zach Thomas and Lance Briggs, it's going to work. And we get all our guys, and we get a backup center too. We do sign Waddell too. I missed that contract offer. He's going to be basically our fifth corner in case somebody goes down. But we're definitely stacked in the corners department. I'm going to go ahead and let these free agency signings run, and I'm going to go ahead and just talk about our team. So we had a left guard that's 6'6" and like 320, I believe. So I moved him to left tackle, to fill some roster spots. Like I said, I moved Hackett the free safety because we had him and Goolsby that we both got as strong safeties, and we have Jeremiah Bell still starting. So Goolsby will be his backup. Hackett has 89 speed compared to Goolsby's 83. I do remember that. And his archetype is more of a free safety type. And when I moved him to free safety, his overall actually went up to 85 from I think 82 or 83, one of the two. But his overall went up. I do remember that for a fact. So that's why I think Hackett and Bell will compete for the free safety spot. If Hackett wins the job, he wins the job, and Bell will just have to develop behind him. Because one thing in this game, if the if you have guys that are higher overalls in a position, it's naturally going to develop the guys under them, even if they don't play, to a higher overall. That's what I've seen in this game in particular. And then they start pouting about not playing too, so then that becomes another problem. But it does help with not just hoarding a bunch of players on your team and whatnot. And that's the thing I've been trying to do recently, in the last few years, is try to make it more realistic. I mean, I try to be different with each team, but definitely try to be realistic in how the business works. Like I said, there's things about the business I don't like, so I try not to do that in these franchises. I try to do it, my way, how I would do it if I were in a business. So, but I want to keep it a business at the same time and be realistic at the same time. So, yeah, like Shoulders. I could have kept Shoulders and made him our starting safety, even though he had yellow morale, wasn't all the way down in the red. But hey, man, if you don't want to be here, I'm going to give you your wish and trade you. I could have kept him and made him a starter, and he could have started because I could have let Tillman walk, which I did. And as you see, I don't know if I showed it in this video, but Spragan signed with the Buccaneers. Tillman's going within the division to the Bills. Ooh, so that'll be interesting. We got to play him twice a year, so hopefully he doesn't pick us off. So, yeah, that's interesting. And then his stats with us, 7 sacks, about the same tackles. He did have more picks, I think, this past year because he was starting. When Shalters went down, he ended up getting popped up into that starting position. I think that's what Shalters didn't like. He thought he was going to get the spot back. We gave him a shot in the preseason, and actually in the position battle, apparently Tillman won it. So here is our updated roster. I believe it has everything up to date. I do think, actually, I take that back. We did sign a quarterback. I believe we signed Sean Hill. Don't quote me on it. I haven't looked at the game, honestly, in weeks. But we did play one preseason game, and I think somebody got hurt, one of our quarterbacks. So, yeah. But this is your roster, and we're going to develop it, and we're going to be ready to roll